So Beetlejuice has a official trailer number 2. We did react to the first one, but I wasn't a fan of it. So we didn't post it for any of y'all except for the patrons and the members. I was like, you know what? You guys love us.
Here, have the garbage.
I think that's... Yeah. No, I was like, you know what? They are such supporters of the channel, they'll look past how bad it is and they'll probably enjoy it. As to where, like, the general audience will be like boo, bad. So this will be our second reaction, but probably the first one you saw. Shout out to those of you who did see the other one.
Yeah, thank you
thanks
guys.
for the support on Patreon and the memberships on the channel.
We appreciate it so much.
So now this was something that I wasn't going to watch, but I figured because we didn't release the other one, I was like, okay, I have a feeling this is going to be spoiler heavy, and I'm going to wish I didn't watch it.
I also feel that way. It's literally a 2.5 minute trailer.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we need it, but we're going to watch it.
Yeah, we're going to watch it. It is what it is. The thumbnail here, Michael Keaton looks older here than, even though it's like he's got the makeup on and everything.
Yeah, you
that
can
image there
definitely
does not
tell.
help. Anyway, I mean, Beetlejuice is aging. It happens to people even in the afterworld.
It does.
Okay, so Beetlejuice, let's do this. Is this a trailer for Wednesday?
When you're all driving carpool and banging your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
It is Wednesday.
100%.
Is this a Wednesday?
Yeah.
I mean, that was done by Tim Burton.
The house is so cool. Oh, a little outfit there?
That old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately.
No.
A legend.
A legend, huh?
The living.
Why is she a
The
legend?
dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
Ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap. I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. And how do I know that you're going to keep your word?
I swear I'm into another days.
A lot of footage we've seen before.
Yeah.
You and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through.
I like Bob.
Interesting.
I recognize this post. Never seen that chick before in my life. Or afterlife.
Was that Lydia in her original
Beetlejuice.
wedding outfit?
Oh.
I'm needed upstairs.
I think so.
Go down the floor.
Hold on the fort.
Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? Alright, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work. Did I think from a dream? Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown.
Sandworm.
Yeah.
There's nothing harder.
What the f***?
Oh, we're gonna actually
Thank
get
you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
What the heck? What is that? That was cool. Oh, I kind of wish that we hadn't seen that last clip because that looked really cool.
It did.
Did we? I don't remember if in the first trailer we understood that like Lydia and Beetlejuice are going to be like teaming up. It didn't come across that way, right?
Well, that's a callback to the cartoon.
Yeah.
Right? I grew up on the Beetlejuice cartoon, and for some reason in that, Beetlejuice and Lydia are like best friends.
Yeah, right.
And they hang out all the time, and they go into the afterlife or whatever the hell all the time to get up to like hijinks.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're frenemies here, right? This isn't like in the show where they're like legit friends and she trusts Beetlejuice. This looks more like, obviously they're reluctantly working
She's
together.
like, I have to get your help. Yeah.
I think she's gonna have to marry him again.
Yes.
I mean, we're at the altar and we see them in their outfits again. Shout out to our wedding,
Yeah.
where we dressed up as Beetlejuice and Lydia in those costumes. So that's why they look so familiar. Not only because I've seen the movie 1,000 times, but because I saw my wife in that very outfit. You know, a lot of callbacks, of course, to the original.
Yes.
Whether
yeah.
he's, you know, putting the tying her mouth up.
Right.
Yeah. Like happens with the Maitlands when they're trying to say Beetlejuice to stop the wedding.
Yeah.
Bob is interesting because if that's really his name, but that's what his name tag says. That of course makes me think of when Beetlejuice gets his head shrunk.
Yeah.
At the end of the first one, and I do hope that that's addressed, because how do you get your head unshrunk?
I know.
But he has, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that complicated for Beetlejuice, because he can distort his face, like he does the thing with the snakes, and he can, like, make things appear and disappear, and, like, I don't know, he has magic.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I feel like he could make he could make his head big again. So I don't think I need a huge explanation, but I would like to see it
like happen.
Addressed.
Yeah.
Like I had I used to look like that.
Right.
Like, but I did this or something. You know, some kind of mention
well,
of it
Bob
at least.
Literally looks like him.
Yes. That's why I thought it was him.
I know.
In the first trailer.
You were like, "That's Beetlejuice."
I'm like, "Oh, cool. They're going to address it." And then it was like in another
Bob.
part of the trailer, I was like, "Oh, that's not Beetlejuice."
Yeah.
Lame. Like, because I do want to see that addressed.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for this. I don't know. I think that there's definitely people that are probably feeling like, oh, you don't need to make a second Beetlejuice or whatever, but that was always the plan, was to have another Beetlejuice, right? Like,
I wouldn't say it was always the plan, but they've been working on a sequel forever.
Yeah.
You know, the Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian script, where Beetlejuice enters a surfing competition. That kind of stuff. Like, that's something that we'd read about forever, for decades. Like, they were working on a thing, and we thought for sure this was never going to happen. It was like one of those things where it was like, you know, and this year seems to be filled with those movies, those sequels that you heard about rumblings of forever, that you were like, we got Twisters, we have Gladiator 2, and we have this. And it's like, these are all these legacy sequels that, like, when I remember when Gladiator 2 was announced back, not long after Gladiator came out, where they were talking about how they were going to have, like, Maximus, like, in like underworld, and he, you know, we're going to be seeing I was like, what? That sounds awful. But the trailer we got for Gladiator 2 was pretty badass, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks great. This is the route you want to go. Not the, like, afterlife thing that they were originally conceiving of. And I would have loved to have seen Beetlejuice Go Hawaiian.
Sure. I mean, obviously this is such a nostalgic movie for so many people, and I think what's fun about this is seeing, like, Jenna Ortega, seeing, like, the new, like, you know, the younger generation now, like, partaking in it. And I mean, she's already very iconic from a lot of horror movies, but definitely, like, in line with this and with Tim Burton, as we were saying, like, Wednesday.
Oh my
God. And, you know, Winona Ryder was not Wednesday, but, like, Lydia and Wednesday are very similar characters, obviously.
Sure.
And I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a fun movie. I think, that's really... I just want to have a good time. Like, that's my whole thing with this film. Like, I'm not expecting anything, you know, insane as far as filmmaking goes. I am excited to see the effects, though. I think the practical effects and, like, even the special effects in general are going to be really cool. Like, that thing with the people's faces getting sucked off. I like whatever was going on there.
Yeah, I am definitely excited. I don't think anyone should be trying to expect the greatness of the first one in this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was meaning.
This movie is its own thing. It's a legacy sequel so many years later. We're kind of lucky to even have it. So I think that Beetlejuice is a perfect film. I think it's an insanely iconic film, and there's really nothing like it.
No,
I mean,
no,
there is not a film that has been made that's like it. Even though Tim Burton has a specific style, he has never made anything like Beetlejuice.
No, it's so unique and special because of that. And I think, like, for people that maybe are like, oh, I don't, like, why are they making a sequel to it? It's like, okay, you don't have to see it. And also, even if you see it and you hate it, you still have the original.
Yeah.
It doesn't take anything away from the original.
No.
Like, that is its own perfect movie that exists, no matter what comes after.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important for every franchise that has like new movies coming out that a lot of people might be excited for and a lot of people think are pointless. It's like, okay, well, you don't have to watch them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tarnish the original. So
I find it funny that Jeffrey Jones is, not in this because of, sexual, either allegations or criminal, actual, prosecution. I think he was actually found guilty. So he's not in this as Mr. Dietz, but, Lydia's father. But it is weird to me that they decided to kill him off and that this movie, the other trailers showed him his funeral.
yeah.
Because 90% of the cast is dead people.
Yeah.
And recently dead people, right? This
Yeah,
is the handbook for the
yeah.
recently deceased. Like,
There's
that's
probably
not a
gonna
good
be-
way to write him out of the movie.
I know, it's like,
you
he could
say like
still show up.
they broke up and he
Yeah.
moved away.
Yeah.
Right? Killing him was a really silly choice. I'm sure they'll address it, like, where's Dad?
Right.
And it's like he
It
went
has to
somewhere
be-
else.
Yeah,
or
it has
something.
to be addressed.
I don't know.
Maybe
but
not,
it's a
but-
weird decision in a movie that deals so heavily with like ghosts and interactions with ghosts.
Yeah.
And he dies and his corpse is right there in that town where the
Yeah.
Maitlands get caught. But they can't leave their house. But they do go into the afterworld and he's stuck in that house. So I guess that kind of addresses it there because the Maitlands, they're not allowed to leave their house for like, it's been a little while since I've seen it, but like 100 years?
Yeah, they have like a time frame that they can't go anywhere.
They can't go anywhere. They talk to Juno, their caseworker, and they
Yeah.
only get like 3 visits with her over the
Yeah.
100 years. You're going to use up all your help vouchers.
I know.
And so wherever he died, I guess he's stuck there.
Yeah.
Even though it's weird though because they die on a bridge, like in the water.
That's
they
true.
don't die in their
That's
house.
totally true.
So
But
I
then
don't
they
know
just,
why
like,
they're
come
stuck
back to
specifically in their
It's
home.
not where they
It's like
die.
home is where the heart is
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I guess wherever he lived,
He
and
would
he
be
wasn't
there.
living there,
Yeah.
so he's trapped there, and it's going to be 100 years. So I guess it kind of addresses itself if you know the lore.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think that works.
I
I
guess
like
that's
that
fine.
explanation, and then we'll see if they give us anything else like in the movie. But yeah, I mean, I think this is like one of those films too that's gonna start revitalizing like the nostalgia as well. Like I feel like every year when you go to Spirit Halloween, like there's always Beetlejuice stuff, which is great to see.
Because it's the fucking best.
Because it's the best. But I think that there's going to be a lot of, like, younger crowd that are going to be getting into it because of this. I'm assuming this is it PG-13? Do we have a
yeah,
rating?
I'm sure
I mean,
it
if there's a curse in it, I don't know if that's bleeped out, but I think they still have to make it
They
PG-13.
can give it 1F. I think you get 3 fucks in a PG-13 film now. But I don't know. It's all
Yeah.
over the place. Because, like, I took the kids to see the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And she says the F word like 7-8
Right.
times in that.
And
And it
that's
was
PG.
PG-13.
Oh, that's PG-13. Okay,
So I don't honestly know what the rule
Yeah.
is. And then there was another like movie that I looked up. I think it was like a documentary or something, and it was like it had like over 100, and it was
Oh.
still somehow PG-13.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
I'm assuming this is going to be PG-13. I don't know.
It's PG-13.
But-
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee
So,
it. But I think
exciting.
Jenna Ortega is the obvious best choice.
Yes.
Because she
Yeah.
is as close as we have right now to the Winona Ryder of the 2020s.
Absolutely. She is that Winona Ryder, Christina Ricci, like she has that down, and I think it's deserved. I think she plays the deadpan, like, goth girl, even though in this she's not really goth. Like, she definitely is, you know. Anyway, I think it's perfect. I think she makes sense to be... She's, like, the metaphorical successor of Winona Ryder, and now she's playing Lydia Dietz's daughter, so I think it works really well, and I love seeing her. I love that she's getting so much work, so...
Yeah, I mean, Lydia Dietz, like, literally crafted my type of woman. You know, like, when I was growing up watching that movie, Winona Ryder, but especially Lydia Dietz, was, like, maybe the main influence for what kinds of chicks I got into. So much so that I had my wife dress up as her to get married because it felt so appropriate for, like, what, you know, was the genesis of my type. Like, I remember first time seeing Winona Ryder in that movie. I was young, but it was like, you know, the music playing, slow motion kind of thing. Yeah. It's just like, oh, this is the kind of chicks that I'm into, and it's been like that my whole life. You know, the alt girls. It's always been my thing. So, to see her again here, now that I think she's maybe like 7-8 years older than me. Mm-hmm. I mean, she still looks good. It's just that Winona Ryder is nuts. Like, have you seen her nowadays in interviews or when she's like up on stage and she's like looking around and you're like, are you okay? Like, I hope she doesn't become like the next Shelley Duvall. Who, like, completely loses her mind.
I don't remember if you said this or if somebody else said this, maybe in another reaction, or I don't remember, but watching the trailer with Winona, it definitely feels like, oh my god, her character from Stranger Things.
Oh, Joyce Byers.
Joyce Byers, yeah, it feels like Joyce Byers in Beetlejuice. Like,
it feels like Joyce Byers cosplaying
as Lydia Dietz.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't feel like Lydia, but I'm hoping that it doesn't feel that way when we're watching the movie.
I hope so too, but I think that her personality comes through.
Different.
Yeah, and she has like that very wide eye, like kind of manic look now all the time, and it works really well as Joyce Byers. Like, that's Joyce Byers' character to me, but like the Lydia from, you know, the original Beetlejuice is not like wide-eyed. She's very like blank face and deadpan. Like, that's how she is. Like, I mean, does she have a few moments of like, why? Yes, like she gets shocked, of course, but like,
Winona Ryder looks.
We'll see.
Perma startled now.
She does. I feel bad.
She's got resting startled face.
Yeah. I hope she's taking care of herself.
Yeah, and Lydia is like, she's like the true emo girl.
But maybe we can make that work because, like, Lydia, this is like years later, and maybe Lydia's seen some shit though. You know what I mean? Like, she's like a legend because maybe she does all this like spooky stuff with the afterlife. So she's like I always see ghosts and crazy things. So like that's why I'm like this.
I hope she dances with a dead football team at the end of this one as well. No, I don't care. I do want to see a dance number in this for sure.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the Calypso or it's
I mean, they did the little like dance in the church pews. Yeah. So something's gonna happen.
It has to have at least one dance music sequence. It would be a total bummer. In fact, I would be completely fine with this being basically a musical.
I want to see the Beetlejuice musical.
Oh, me too.
I really want to see it. I've listened to a couple songs and I like them, and I'm like, it'd be good to see.
Yeah.
That's our cat.
So anyway, that's our thoughts.
Yeah.
This one we actually should post.
We will post this one because I think we're more energetic than we were at the last one. We were just tired and like not prepared for the original trailer.
Yeah, but we got Justin Theroux, we got Willem Dafoe, we've got Monica Bellucci, we got Bellucci, I think that's her name, who is like the wife of Beetlejuice. Yeah. She's the one that he's like, she meant nothing to me kind of thing. You got a really stellar cast here. Yeah. And I look forward to it for sure. Will we get an appearance by Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin?
I don't know about Alec Baldwin right now, but maybe.
He got exonerated.
I
So
just mean like he was probably
at that time though, they probably were like,
filming?
"Ooh, we can't have you on set."
I
They're like, "How much of the
hope so,
cast can
though.
we go to now? How many are under indictment?"
I love them though. Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin as the Maitlands is like,
yeah,
they're so perfect. I love them.
yeah.
So,
All right, that's
anyway,
that.
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice, the third one. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.